TacticalOyster here, bringing you guys episode number 32 of 3-War Exploits. I almost forgot. We have the usual gang here, Whackmed19 and Bondfire, and myself, along with Jules, a friend of ours, who's coming in from overseas as he's serving our military. And it's going to be a great show. We've got several great topics, and I'm going to let Whackmed lead us off because I have no idea what the first one is.
Well, we got a guest here, so I figured we would start with our questions.
Let's do that.
Okay.
I figured that's always a good way to start it. You know, warm him up, get him involved, you know.
Okay, good idea, good idea.
Now, to be fair, Jules has been on the show before. He was on episode...
Very early on.
3 or 4? Something like that?
Ooh,
way back
that
when.
Can't remember.
Back in the days of the Skype call with no face cams.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was a long time ago.
Call of Duty player.
That might even be
Black Ops 2
before
story.
Bonfire came on the show full time. It was around that time.
That was before my full time.
That was before Bonfire's.
That was your... It may have been Bonfire's second episode. Sounds about right.
Was I there?
It was, I don't remember. It was quite a long time ago now.
I just know
Yes,
we
you
played Call
were,
of Duty
because we
together.
talked about E3 and how much stuff there was to talk about, and then
That's
somebody
right,
cut
that's
out.
right. I remember.
Yep, that's right.
That was the
And
one where I was on vacation.
yeah,
Because I missed the E3 episode.
so the questions were how many, and we're not going to talk about kill. How many 10-year-olds could you?
5-year-olds.
5-year-olds. How many 5-year-olds could you take out before they incapacitated you to the point where you couldn't fight back?
His answer's
How
going to be
many-
far better than ours.
How
that's for
many
sure.
5-year-olds?
How many 5-year-olds?
I think we decided on no weapons, right? You're
You
not
get
allowed
no
to-
weapons.
No weapons. So imagine you spawn like in the middle of a basketball arena, and every single seat is filled with a 5-year-old, and you get one go, and they also.
And you also got to consider something's wrong with these 5-year-olds because what else would provoke
There's
this?
too much qualifications.
I'm just saying.
Wow.
I'm just trying to clarify the situation.
Exactly.
I don't know how to answer that. A lot.
It's like I don't want to
There are
hurt.
answers from previously to help you with this, maybe.
Okay.
None of us went over like 30 or 40.
Yeah.
You said 30 or 40?
None of us went over that.
Yeah.
That'd probably be reasonable, because at some point I would get tired. But I don't know. I mean, really, one swing. How thick are these 5-year-olds? You know what I mean? I don't know.
Standard size.
Standard issue 5-year-old.
Okay,
Yeah,
let me
better.
correct that.
Better 5-year-olds.
Let me correct that. Not their size, but how thick are they in numbers?
Oh.
I'd say there's 10 5-year-olds that come at you every 10 seconds. They come in waves of 10 kids every 10 seconds. Let's go with that from now on. Just
If that's the case, then I'm gonna shoot well over 400.
Okay, wait a second.
over 400.
Okay, wait a second. You have to consider this,
That's
okay?
1 second per kid.
You have to. Yeah, I was about to say, you have to consider that unless you're clearing one kid per second, then every 10 seconds you're going to get at least an additional 1 5-year-old that's clinging onto you. Like it's
So
going
you
to
said
build
every
up.
10 seconds I get what? 10 5-year-olds that
10
come at me?
5-year-olds every 10 seconds.
Okay, so one kick alleviates all 10. Next.
Show them your arms, dude. Just show them your arms. Say,
Oh man, I gotta take the top off. Hang on.
hold on, I need some CD music for that.
You got to remember, this guy is a trained.
All he's
member
got
of the
time
armed
to do is
services.
kill Muslims and power lift.
I don't.
Dude, that's outrageous.
I guess
you-
you could. I guess you could just give like one Chuck Norris roundhouse kick and take out
I
several.
guess really I'd get one kick and I'd get 9 seconds to breathe before the next wave. So I guess it'd be a lot.
Wow. So,
Best answer so far. This is good.
real. You said those. What's the size on those guns? Because we were talking about this before the show, and it's pretty outrageous.
They're currently at 17 and a quarter.
17 and a quarter inch arms.
Almost as big as my rims.
Then your what?
With an 18-inch
My
neck.
rims? Like on your car?
Yeah. No. That's 17 across. The rims on your car are 17 across. His is 17
Yeah.
around.
Yeah.
So yeah,
but
the rims on your car is like 42 or whatever the math comes
Yeah,
out to
that's
be.
you're
No, I
talking
understand
straight
that,
line
but-
distance across a
Straight-
flat surface.
Yeah. If you. Yeah. Wow. Still.
I think if they were that big, I think I'd hit the Guinness World Book of Records.
Okay.
Next question.
Yes. I don't remember the next question.
Chicken nuggets or meatloaf? If you had to
Neither.
eat one of these foods exclusively for an entire week, that's all you could eat. Which one?
Chicken nuggets for the protein.
The chicken nugget.
It's made out of chicken for whatever byproduct amount.
It's made up of some chicken.
It smells
That's more
like chicken.
protein.
You know what? Chicken nuggets, I assume those are like hot dogs, and we don't ask what they're made of. Just eat it.
Good point.
Exactly. Exactly.
And
It's best not to know.
Was there another question?
There's one more question, which is you must fight a medieval duel against a clone of yourself. What weapon do you choose? And keep in mind that the clone will have the same weapon.
Ooh, a medieval weapon. I would choose the broadsword.
Nice.
So you're fighting yourself in a sword fight.
Yep.
I chose jousting.
I also chose a sword.
I chose a dagger.
High five for Bondfire.
So we have some commonalities. It's all good.
Yeah, 3 of us chose blades. I just chose a really small blade. One about the size of your arm.
I would choose butter knife as a secondary.
That's a secondary.
We all have commonalities except the fact that he's confident he could take on 400 5-year-olds.
For
Yeah, I'm
real.
not that confident. I also don't have big arms like that.
No.
Doesn't have really strong shins, so
You do have
I'm
gunner
pretty
glasses.
sure.
So
What's that?
Bonfire does have gunners and hippie mindset, so who
I
knows?
do not have a hippie mindset.
Here.
Wow.
I'll even put on some protective shades.
Uh-oh. Your gunner's
Yeah,
just
see,
got
it
blown.
looks badass.
Your gunner's just got blown away, Bonfire.
We'll call it the blood splash guard.
Dang.
Oh my god.
Oh, that's awesome.
Wow.
What time is it where you are, by the way?
I
It
wanted
is
to
currently 11:30 at night.
11:30 at night.
Yeah, they're a half hour off because it's 2 o'clock on the east coast of the United States.
So it's only 9.5 hours.
You are
Only.
12 and a half hours
For
from
you.
where I am.
It seems like it will be more than that, but
You are literally on the other side of the world from Bondfire.
Literally.
Yeah.
literally,
Wow.
yeah, literally.
That's cool. Oh well. Is it cold there? Because it's freaking cold here.
Oh, shut up. You don't even know what cold is.
That's
It's really not that cold here. We've had some cold days, but it's really not that cold.
Well, define cold day.
I don't know, in the 20s, maybe high teens.
That's a cold day. I will.
But now we're probably kicking up the high 30s, low 40s.
we were
So-
talking before the show. You were talking and telling me that you don't know if you should buy ghosts whenever you get back, which is in April, right? May.
Around
Ish.
May time frame.
No time soon. Okay. And you're not sure, but it will be before November of next year, right?
Yeah, before November of next year, yes.
Of 14 of this year.
Yes, before November.
So it will be in the life cycle of this Call of Duty. And
It will.
you weren't what's proper English there? You weren't sure about buying Call of Duty Ghosts.
Don't do it.
I'm very hesitant to buy that game.
Are you gonna have the Xbox One?
Yes, I will.
So I would recommend, and I know that despite what I've said in the past on this show, I'll probably be slaughtered for this, but I think you'd probably be better off getting Titanfall and giving it a go.
I'm definitely already planning on Titanfall.
No, I'm not going to allow you to say that.
Well, I mean, look, I got a video coming out in the near future talking about how people aren't going to let it fail, whether it deserves to or not. And
That's kind of like Call of Duty.
right, there's yeah, pretty much.
I disagree, though.
Okay.
The only thing I expect from Titanfall is if I enjoy to play it, the objective has been met. I don't care what the game's really truly about. If it's like Call of Duty, if it's not like Call of Duty, if I enjoy to play it, that's all I care about.
Right. I disagree that it can't fail, though. If it's a bad game, people will stop playing it. It doesn't have, in that case, it will fail. And it doesn't have the only reason that Call of Duty can get away with sucking and have people still play it is because it's got it's been built up so much over the years to be so popular. I mean, Titanfall have a lot of popularity, but it's not enough to overcome. If it's not a very good game and people don't enjoy it, it'll fall off.
I guarantee you they'll make a Titanfall 2.
They will make a Titanfall 2, and I will also tell you that it depends on what your definition of fail is, because once the sale has been made, can you still consider it a fail?
I can.
Can you go back and get your money back for the game that you paid for just because it failed?
I don't think you can.
I don't. I think for a game of Titanfall's magnitude, you're not looking just to sell that copy of the game. You're looking to get people invested in the game, invested in the series, wanting to buy Titanfall 2, Titanfall 3, Titanfall 4. You're wanting people to buy DLCs. You're wanting people to start making YouTube videos about it. You're wanting more than just for some games. Like, I think of a game like Payday, for example, that you guys played, Payday 2. That's a game where once you make the purchase, they have succeeded because it's not a mainstream game to the point where it's going to be a hard-hitting, like, heavy seller and people are going to get really invested in it. A game like Titanfall, I think you need to go beyond just the initial sale for that game to be successful. Because it's not all about the initial money.
That means they actually have to make a good game, though.
That's my point.
So let me ask you this then: what are you comparing Titanfall to?
Don't tell me. I mean, what I'm saying is that what you actually have to have a good game if that's what you're going to call a success. And how much support was not given for the two games that these people are touted in making? Like, there was no support for Modern Warfare 2. People hated the fact there was no support for Modern Warfare 2.
The reason I asked that is because these guys split off to make Titanfall. So you can't categorize them with this new Call of Duty franchise or this game in particular because they branched off to make their own game.
I don't know that the support thing is really valid because it's not, in the end, those aren't the guys who push out a patch and like, they're not the ones who have, like, there's more factors at play than just these guys as far as supporting the game. I don't think that was a them problem necessarily, or at least I think it probably wasn't.
I feel like you need to define success of the game and quality of the game, like good, like making it a good game. Like, what makes it a good game? And like, how define success if sales isn't, because what Respawn and Microsoft are going to look at is sales.
Right.
If they get a lot of sales numbers, then that justifies making a sequel. Whether people continue to play it or not, it is going to be determined based on a season pass.
No, there will be a second Titanfall because the first Titanfall will be bought by a lot of people. But it's a two-step process. If people don't like Titanfall 1, there will be a Titanfall 3 because if people stop playing, if people don't like the first game, at this point the second game is already in development, but if people don't like the first game, they're not going to keep playing it. They're not going to buy the second one, and the lack of the sales for the second one will dictate that the series doesn't continue. So you're right that there will be a second one no matter what because the sales numbers will be great for this game.
Right.
Well, the sales numbers may be great for the first game, but if it bombs,
right.
The sales
numbers, it's gonna come down to reviews. The sales numbers are already going to be there for the first game just for sheer anticipation for the game. But if the game itself bombs, the reviews will determine whether or not a second one's even thought about. They're not gonna make a second game when nobody enjoyed the first one.
Right.
Because that'd be a marketing issue if they did that.
I think it'll be interesting to see how it withstands the. I was thinking about saying I wish they had released it in November, whether it be November 2014 even, so that we could see it go head to head with Call of Duty. But then I rethought that and said, no, I'm glad it's releasing now or when it is, because I think it's gonna be interesting to see that if it is a good game and people do like it, March is what, 7 months away from November, so you're basically looking at like the 7 month window for people to really get invested in this game, and then Call of Duty, the next one comes out. And 7 months is usually around the time people get tired of the current Call of Duty. So it'll be interesting to see how it plays out as far as will people stick with Titanfall whenever the next Call of Duty comes out, since it'll be right around that prime window of time when people usually get tired of your typical Call of Duty game.
I don't know. Ghosts is unsuccessful. And
Based on my definition of success, Ghost is unsuccessful.
Based on most people's definition of success, I think Ghosts is unsuccessful. It's an unpopular game, and I don't understand why. I really enjoy it.
Well, I was gonna say I think it's an unpopular game because that's a popular thing to do, is to hate on Call of Duty.
No, it's different now, though. It's different. This game is
How?
actually not good. Well,
That's not
the more I think about Black Ops 2, I think that as much as people complained about that game, that was actually a very good Call of Duty. Okay?
How?
It just was. It was fun. It had cool features. It was entertaining to play. I had fun with my friends playing it. It just seemed like a good Call of Duty to me, and I enjoyed my time on it. Nobody seems to be enjoying their time on Ghost, or majority of people. Whackmed is, obviously. But a majority of people seem to not be enjoying their time on Ghost, and I don't know. I've never really... This is the Call of Duty that I've played the least out of every COD since COD 2. By far. And I've played Black Ops 2 more recently than I've played COD Ghosts. And
Why do you think that is?
It's just a better game. It's a little bit faster paced.
That's what it is.
It's a little bit faster, but see, that
part of it.
shouldn't be a problem, though, because I am someone who plays a slow-paced play style anyways. So that
Yeah.
doesn't really... I don't understand why that would be a factor for me.
You tell
just-
us, because you said it.
I think that
I know, But, I don't know.
Ghosts
It's laid
is-
out better. It has better maps. It has the 3-lane maps. It's just it has better weapons. It has better weapon balancing. It's just a better game.
No, because every gun in Ghosts is the exact... Well, all the assault rifles are pretty much the same assault rifle. There are some that have a little bit of strength over the others, but you have to play... I think you could be successful with every weapon, and this is the first Call of Duty you can be successful with every weapon.
You could be successful with every weapon in Black Ops 2 if you were a good player.
Yeah, but you had to be a really strong player. I mean, that's not something everyone could do. That's not something a majority of people could do. Black Ops 2 took you to the most fast-paced Call of Duty ever made. It was the fastest played since Modern Warfare 2. You'll have to, you guys will have to fact check that for before that. It's the fastest one you could play.
I'll say
agree with
this:
that statement.
You're back
Black
in the
Ops
action.
2, I'll say with Black Ops 2, for all its faults, I really enjoyed that game.
Mm-hmm.
See, that's the
You
thing.
know,
There's
I had
something
some-
about it. Go ahead.
Well, the thing is,
I mean,
go ahead, Jules.
I had some rage moments, obviously, like in Call of Duty.
Who does it?
I mean, it comes with the game. You're gonna have days where you're on it, and other days where you're just like, you know what? Why do I even play this game?
Yeah.
But now, I had more good games than I had bad games. And as far now, what I didn't enjoy from Black Ops 2 is the same thing that I think all these previous Call of Duties have been doing, is when they take a map that they've already come out with and then have you buy a map you've already played. The only thing they changed was maybe a little bit of the layout. They put in some garbage, they took out some garbage, and then they changed the weather. Summit.
Yeah.
I mean, it just... Now, like I said, Black Ops 2, I enjoyed it. But I'll say this, I haven't played Ghosts. But I have never been more bored watching Call of Duty content since this game.
Yeah, and what I was gonna say is, you had Black Ops 2 was so super duper fast. It was the fastest Call of Duty ever made. And Bondfire, you said you'd corroborate that all the way back for your games, right? Or you are
Oh yeah, I agree with that whole statement
well.
wholeheartedly.
Ghosts is the opposite. It's probably the slowest one. It takes you the longest to get back in the action. And I remember in the Modern Warfare 2 that I did play, I couldn't play it because I'm colorblind, so it was really difficult to play Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer for me. But it seemed like it took you a little while to get back to the action. Modern Warfare 3, you got back in the action faster. Black Ops 1, you got into the action fast. And I think Black Ops 1 was probably tied with Modern Warfare 3 for how fast you were back in the action. Ghosts, it's not minutes. If you want to tactically approach an area, you're talking about a good 15 seconds after you spawn to getting into action. And 15 seconds for every death you have. If you have 5 deaths, you're talking, I don't know, what's the math on that? 75 seconds?
15.
A minute 15 out of every match. Out of a 10-minute match, that's 10% or 11% of that game that you're not even playing. You're just trying to get back to play. And that's not good enough.
Map dependent. I've seen probably a video on every single map for this game. And when you have to run 3 miles, figuratively, to get back into killing or back into shooting or back into a vantage point, which chances are you're going to die before you get there anyway because somebody just happens to see you from the other 3 miles that you still have to run. It just, I don't know, that just doesn't seem like it'd be all that fun to play, really.
I like it.
Bondfire, you asked me what was good about Black Ops 2 that made it better than Ghost. I guess that seemed to be what your question was.
Yep.
I will rebuttal with why I don't like Ghost, because that's more strong feelings than why I like Black Ops 2. Ghost is too bland. It doesn't have any color. The maps are boring. The maps are horribly laid out. I liked how in Black Ops 2 most of the maps had 3 lanes. That kind of system. The maps have no color or anything. The game is way too slow. And when I said earlier that I played a slower playstyle, so I don't know why that bothered me, I've now realized, I thought it over, and that in Black Ops 2 you could play slow or fast. Even though the game was fast-paced, you could play a slow pace if you wanted to. There were things in the game that you could still do that and be successful. Then you could also rush because the game was so fast. But in Ghost, you have to play slow pretty much, or else you're going to get eaten alive. So that's my thoughts. It's boring. It's not exciting.
I do agree that there's no color. It's weird. It's like
as bad as Battlefield.
There's lots of color in Battlefield. Are you kidding me?
The no color seems to
be on the last gen consoles. I hop on my PS3, man. It's like a rainbow color. No, but to your point, Whackmed, you're saying that Black Ops 2 is the fastest Call of Duty, and I agree with you. And Ghost is slow, which we've established that. That's why I think Titanfall will be successful. You know, bringing it full circle, because everyone who's played Titanfall, it says it's just insane. It's like adrenaline rush, man. You're constantly moving around. It's crazy fast paced. And if Titanfall can deliver that, and have DLC content, because we know the longevity of games is very dependent. Like these types of games is very dependent on DLC. Then I think that's what'll make it successful.
I think the only thing missing out of this game is the maps. I think the maps are so bad. I mean, I like them. They're natural. Like they just feel natural. Like this is a real place. But that doesn't make a good game, and I realize that. I still
one
stick
thing
by
I've really
the
one
rest
thing I've really
of it makes
noticed
it the
about these
best COD
maps.
so far until you game is for real.
One thing I've noticed about these maps the most is I think that game, probably about almost every single map except for the train yard. I don't remember what it's called. It's got the trains in the center.
In Modern Warfare 3?
No, it's talking
No,
about
Ghosts.
Frost.
Right.
That map is actually decent from the layout.
That's a fun
You
map.
can play 4-on-4. You can play 6-on-6. You could even play 9-on-9. Just because there are those choke points. You can look. Yeah, it's fast paced. For teams out there when they do call outs, you'd really have to study the layout. Now the rest of the maps seem like they're all geared towards, in order for them to be comfortably playable, would have to be at least a minimum of 9 versus 9. Just for the sheer size. There's so many different routes and so many different avenues that you can take, and you can't possibly watch every single corner. And a lot of getting shot in the back is what I've seen as a huge problem, and I can understand how that's an issue. And and really brings animosity to the game, just because the maps are so big and you don't have enough people to watch those areas.
No, not just that. The game itself will spawn you looking at an enemy. I can't tell you how many people I've killed because I spawned and my crosshairs were in his line of sight. I had an enemy in front of me to kill.
It's Call of Duty. I mean, what are you going to do?
It happens.
Call of Duty spawns have been notoriously bad, so, I mean, really, let's just... I think that horse has been beat to death.
True.
That is fair. Yeah, my problem is I'm fatigued with the franchise.
I'm going to go over to Battlefield 4 and quick scope the heck out of Bondfire.
Good luck. Good luck quick scoping.
I think the spawn system for Call of Duty's been the same since Call of Duty 2.
I saw the Quake engine. I'm hoping that this is in my Sledgehammer video that's coming out beginning of next week. But I'm hoping that with 3 years between the Call of Duties, which is what should be happening in the future, maybe they'll have enough time to rewrite more and more of that Quake engine code and leave like the bullet rounding, which makes...
Or they could stop being lazy and make their own engine.
That's huge, dude. That's not a 3-year cycle. That's a huge
But
ordeal.
you could still be working on that. I mean, they could still have... They've got 3 developers that are making this game now. They could easily have people working on that on the side, and even if it's for several years down the road. I mean,
I'm with you.
They've been on. How old is the Quake engine? It's dirt old, man. It's too old to be running these games.
It should be 9 years old now.
It's too old.
Because it came out with the Quake engine came out for, right at the beginning of the 360's life.
Well, it ran Quake though.
Yeah. Like, it's older than that, dude.
Yeah, but that's not that
It's
Quake
a different
engine.
rendition, I'm sure, an upgraded
I mean,
version,
yeah,
but it's
it's-
old.
They've upgraded it, but it's still based on the same
It's based on the Quake engine
foundation.
from the PC from a million years ago, but
The Quake engine is from 1996. We're running next gen Call of Duty on an engine that was made for a PC game in 1996.
that's not completely true.
It is completely
I
true.
mean, that's like saying you went to the store and bought a gasket for your carburetor, and that gasket is a 1996 carburetor gasket. It was made for that, sure.
Yeah, I don't think that was a good analogy.
It
That
is a
didn't help
perfect
me.
analogy because it's a brand new Quake engine every single year. It's
No,
just
it's not.
based off
It's
one
not
that was
true. It's
done in
not
'96.
It's an
Not-
upgraded.
It's not true.
I
It's
say
an
complete.
altered
That's-
Quake engine. It's not a brand new Quake engine.
It's an
then
altered.
It would not be
You're
the Quake
right.
engine.
It's a brand new Quake engine. It's not a
It's not
brand
even-
new.
I think you
engine.
overestimate how much they change it each year. This was the first year that they made a significant change to the engine in the last several Call of Duties. I
And
mean, they
everybody hates
tweak it a little bit each year, but this is the first year they made any kind of significant changes that affected gameplay mechanics. And how many people are actually using the lean and slide features as a part of the game? Nobody.
Not very many people.
I like
except to
the
get
slide
camos.
feature.
I love the slide feature.
It's not practical, though. It's like a dolphin dive.
No, you
I
can,
think
you can still shoot.
I think it's more practical than the dolphin dive.
Yeah.
I think it's less practical.
Like when you're
than
picking up
dolphin
tags
dive,
and
depending on
stuff.
what
Like,
you're-
while it kill
The
confirmed
dolphin
when I
dive
play
is way
stuff.
cooler.
The dolphin
does
dive is
look
cooler,
cooler.
but you couldn't shoot. At least you can shoot whenever you're.
Yeah.
I think in the entire time I played it, I've killed like 2 people while sliding and shooting. But if you slide into somebody and stab them in the groin, that's a very satisfying feeling.
The
That
only
sounds
way
pretty
you
cool.
could make that any cooler is if it went virtual reality and you could slide and gun, or you could still dive, you could peek without
Not all
using
of us
the
can
gun, but
take
actually
out
just peek.
400 5-year-olds. I don't want a Call of Duty like
mean-
that. I want to sit right here.
Maybe they make it so you can slide and then like knife somebody in the back of the leg as you slide past them, so you don't even have to kill him.
Feel
And
like
then he
my-
calls all his friends, and then you take his friends as they come out to help.
It's like
I mean-
my mama used to play Mario Brothers. She'd jump with the controller. She'd have to jump. My mommy. I love my mommy.
I mean,
New topic.
this is. I think Ghost is just beaten to death. There's nothing really else that you can say about it.
But
They'll always
Wagman's
do the
trying.
same arguments.
Wagmed's trying to revive it and get everybody infected with ghosts.
And
Yeah.
Pro
Oh,
segue.
Best
Well
COD so
done.
far. I tell you, game is for real. Yeah.
Ooh.
well done.
Wagmed,
that's
why don't you lead this topic in since it's your baby?
Since it's my baby, I just put out the Ghosts rap video, Infected with Ghosts. I put a lot of man hours into it, and first of all, I can't thank you guys enough because you guys promoted it, you guys tweeted it out. Not just the guys on the show and Punkman and the other people that are listed on the video, but there was a lot of other people that retweeted and increased the number of views that went on this video, and it's still growing, it's still climbing, and I'm pleased with the fact that it's still chugging along, picking up views. I wanted to specifically ask Bondfire about what he thought about my line about Battlefield 4.
To be honest, I didn't really catch it. What was the line? I mean, I was just because it happened so fast and the words drop by so
You
fast.
can re-watch the video. You're allowed to.
No, I know.
I give you permission.
I've rewatched it several times, but I don't remember the lines.
Maybe you should marathon it in some Battlefield 4.
Oh, that was it.
Marathon what? Ghost?
Maybe you maybe you should marathon it in some Battlefield 4 is the line. It's first of all, every pronoun in this, noun or pronoun in the rap, ties directly back to something about Call of Duty.
When you said
Yeah, I got a few
marathon
of
in Battlefield, I took that. I assumed that was a shot at like having to sprint for an hour and a half before you saw anybody.
In Battlefield, and the fact that marathon is a perk for Call of Duty.
I got the marathon.
Uh,
But
I
that
got you.
statement's so wrong.
I think I got your back on this one, Bonfire, since I've now played this game, and I hated Battlefield 3. I think I lasted 2 seconds in that game before I wanted to just destroy it. But Battlefield 4, okay, I had to get used to it because the control, everything's different.
Well, the controls are
besides
a lot
shoot.
different. I'll give you that.
But the game is, I think it's fun. And if it took you that long to run, yeah, the maps are huge, but you have jets, you have helicopters, you have tanks, you have Humvees, you have boats. I mean,
But is it
really,
not an accurate
as long-
reference that you have to go a really long ways when you spawn into Battlefield?
I don't think it is.
I
Because
think
when you
it's-
play team deathmatch or domination, where it's 10 versus 10, and the map size is very proportionate to a 10 versus 10 match, you don't. I mean, I'm spawning and I'm killing people. I've been spawn killed before.
I think it's different in the fact that you can choose between how many people or how big of a lobby you want to play in.
That's true.
In Call of Duty, you don't have 15, 16, whatever people on one team.
32 versus 32 is the big one.
Yeah, that's huge. 32 people, even on the large scale maps that they have, you're going to run into somebody.
Yeah.
And on top of that, one thing that I like and that I think is innovative about Battlefield is the sniping system in that game. There's a one-shot kill if you shoot somebody in the head, but at distance it actually has bullet declination. It has round declination. Gravity is in effect in that game. So you can't shoot out 600, 700 yards and the bullet not drop. You have to actually sit there and zero in to that distance, and the round will actually arc to get to that target. I think that's awesome, and that alleviates a lot of the one-shot kills. But now bullet damage based off of different caliber gun, they could have worked that a lot differently.
Yeah.
Or more beneficial attributes to sniper rifles or different guns in the game being stronger than others because the rounds and how those weapon systems actually affect people. If they went that extra step with it, that game I think would be game of the year really. In comparison to Ghosts.
Well, you heard it here first, folks.
He's caught
Armed
deprived.
the
You can't
armed
pay any
services
attention to what he just
approved
said.
Battlefield.
He's got sand in his ears.
Now, understand I am a huge Call of Duty advocate and fan.
This is true.
Okay.
Anyway,
But
the line's
you
still
have some
accurate
good
to
points.
the game that we played, the beta that I played with you.
I agree with you.
Okay.
The beta was so poorly done.
And a lot of that's just kind of some tongue in cheek. You know how hard it is to come up
Yeah.
with lyrics sometimes. The other line that I figured that you and Oyster would take exception with
Grand Theft Auto line, yeah.
is the Grand Theft Auto line.
What was it again? Because I heard it, but I was just trying to take everything in.
Watch out,
Kinda
Grand
just a
Theft Auto, you know
generic
we on
shot.
top.
Yeah.
So what was it?
I was taking a shot at the fact that Grand Theft Auto. You remember all the the news about Grand Theft Auto sold this many copies. It's this big. It's way better than Call of Duty. It sold better and all that.
Yeah.
And so it was a shot at that because when I wrote the rap, that was a pretty big topic. And the line is, "Watch out, Grand Theft Auto. You know we on top."
Oh.
Well, for starters, that's inaccurate.
It is now. It was a prognosis back when it was written. Or a prediction, not a prognosis, a prediction.
You know, and that can also be taken as personal preference. I mean, I don't think you specifically say in terms of sales.
No.
No.
Why don't you have that game yet, Whackmed?
We've talked about this. Are we going to beat
Yeah.
this dead horse
No,
again?
we're not going to beat this dead horse.
Yes,
Okay.
we are. What? Why?
Jesus.
Come on, dude. Even Jazz has it now.
It's true. He needs to level up, though.
Everybody has it except for you. Everybody has that game except for Whackmed 19.
You know what? If he never gets Grand Theft Auto and buys Battlefield, I'll be happy.
Mission
I want
accomplished.
Sunset Overdrive to get here.
Oh, come
Yeah.
on.
You'll see that game in
Bonfire.
2015. Yeah.
Challenge accepted.
Yes.
Because
No,
now I'm gonna
I
buy
wasn't-
one and
you
send it to him.
You were talking about games for Xbox One. Get Battlefield 4. And I'll tell you why. Because you've played it on the PlayStation 3.
I
One,
did.
you're in for a change because not only does it look 30,000 times better, but the matches are actually bigger. You can actually do a 64-player match.
Cool.
So, yeah, no, just a suggestion.
The whole 64-man match is not even appealing to me, though, personally. Like, I'm going to get Battlefield 4 at some point. I don't know when yet. Probably after I play Titanfall. But, like, I kind of I prefer playing 4v4 to 6v6 in COD, not in Ghost, because Ghost sucks, and 4v4 on Ghost. But I typically prefer smaller teams, so I don't get why people always talk about, you know, I understand some people like it, but that's like one of the biggest things not one of the biggest, but it's a card that gets played commonly in the COD Battlefield debate is,
Yeah.
oh, well, we got 64-man servers. I mean, okay.
Well, Battlefield has servers.
Can you blow a hole
wow.
through a wall with C4 in Call of Duty Ghosts?
It's true.
No, you know, some of my most favorite videos to watch lately have been watching Punk Man put the C4 on anything and then go blow it up on something else. Those are fun. Bonfire, you've been doing some awesome stuff with a bike in Grand Theft Auto.
I love the bike, man.
Like,
I've been pulling some sweet tricks.
not only that, have you ever in the entire game? Okay, I'll give you like the 3 days when you first bought it. That doesn't count. So after the first 3 days of you having Grand Theft Auto, have you ever let a store clerk live?
Yes, because earlier in the game, they didn't, right after you rob them, pull out a gun and shoot you. Because I didn't post this online, but there was one like a week or two ago where me and Arcade, he was sitting outside in the getaway vehicle. I was in the store, and I hadn't played this game in a while. Robbed the store, pick up my money, and I'm starting to leave. A guy pulls out a gun, like a shotgun, blows me away. And I'm like, what the hell? I didn't even do anything. So now they fight back. So now, you know what? I'm just going to get rid of you. Every time.
Toast.
I don't trust them.
You can't. They're shifty.
Wait,
They are.
Did you just say I didn't even do anything?
I didn't do anything but rob them at gunpoint.
Yeah, what the heck? Like, I didn't even do anything. All I did was rob you at gunpoint. Why are you-
Shoot the
why are you
bottles
fighting?
And
behind
destroy
you.
his entire wall of liquor.
Yeah.
Yeah, you shoot everything. That was a slight oversight on your part.
It was kind of intentionally.
I would.
It was a funny.
There's a public beta coming out for Titanfall. Did you guys hear about that?
I just.
Is that confirmed? I thought it was a rumor.
Yeah, Charlie Intel tweeted it out. I retweeted it about an hour ago. I'm in the beta for Project Spark, and I need to
Oh
find
yeah.
out how much I'm allowed to show on YouTube. I need to look into that, but I'm just trying to finish the tutorial. This is not an easy thing to play. This game's tough, and it's
Which is
because
ironic because it was marketed to kids. But go ahead.
it's not a kid's game. Like if you have to make the game. You start with just a blank canvas. It's like Microsoft Paint blank. And unlike Microsoft Paint, I guess it's more like Photoshop in that you're given all these tools and you can make whatever. You can shape everything. Just what they showed in the trailers and the tutorial, the trailers and stuff that they put online. You can make anything. And there's a lot of stuff and the tutorial tries to go through and teach you how to make things and but it's teaching you to be a computer programmer. If this happens, do this. That's writing code, and they're teaching you how to write code, which is cool, especially if you want your kid to become a computer science major. That's cool.
We're turning him away from it because he doesn't like it.
Apparently, he doesn't care anything about. That's fine. I'm okay with that. But Project Spark teaches you to write code, and that's kind of cool. I'm really interested in it for that. I don't think I'm going fast enough for them for the beta. I'm not a very good beta helper because I should be helping them a little more than I actually am. I'm sorry, Project Spark. It's cool. It's really cool. And one of the first thing you do is program your guy to be able to fight with the left mouse click and throw fireballs with the right mouse click. And kill goblins.
I don't see that game being successful mainstream-wise, but...
No,
I disagree.
I don't know that it depends on, again, with the success word.
And this might be not a very good comparison, but I compare it to a game like Minecraft where you just make whatever.
Yes.
Create your own adventure, essentially. So I can see people, this is like a more complex version of that to where you can, you're creating entire games, essentially, and seeing what people create is the fun of it. So it could really, if people want to invest time and enjoy that process, you could really create some crazy things, and it could really blow up, especially with the help of YouTube.
Now, I had to step out for a second, but when I got back, I heard you say something about writing code. Is there code involved in the game somehow?
Essentially, you write code in the game. That's what you're doing, is writing code. Now, like
When you say essentially, are you actually writing code or not?
No.
So
I think what he's saying, and correct me if I'm wrong, is like,
you. Go ahead.
well, as I say, if you have something happen in the game, just like if you were to write a code for that thing to happen, you have to think about the possible outcomes. So if this happens, you have to make sure that this happens.
Right.
You're not actually typing out the code, but you're making sure that these things happen, and the code is being written within the game. So it's an easier way to essentially write code.
You don't have to write code that says, if health reaches 0, player dies. You don't have to write that. What you do have to write in is, for your goblin, if a player comes near me within proximity, I need a reaction. What is my reaction going to be? And this is very simple. Like, how many games have you played before where you know when you cross that threshold, that thing's going to happen? You know what I'm talking about? So you have to program those kinds of things. Those things are really obvious. Like in I'm trying to think of any. I can't. My mind is completely blank. But as soon as you cross this threshold, or go past the pipe, or go under this cloud, the bad guy is going to show up. The boss comes in, or whatever, for the level to fight against. That's the kind of code that you have to write. And it basically says, when this happens, I want this to automatically happen. And it's coaching you to do that.
Okay, I have another question. And since you actually played the game, you'll be able to answer this. How limited are the things that you can do?
I haven't been able to not get it to do anything I wanted it to yet. And I've only got like 30 or 45 minutes on this thing, so
No.
Like I don't have tons of it, but
But
everything.
like when you're choosing to make something happen, are you like going down a list of possible things that you can make happen and choosing? Like or are you just entering whatever you want in? Like explain to me.
You have an unlimited amount of if this happens, do this. There are a list of actions that your player can do. And
When you say unlimited amount, is that choosing from a list, basically?
It is choosing from a list, but I don't know how expansive that list is. Like, I'm pretty sure that you can, if this happens, choose dialogue, and the guy comes up and does dialogue with you, and you can form the whole script to a game. And so, whenever you approach this guy, instead of this goblin fighting with you, he talks to you, and he's a turncoat and gives you information on all the other goblins. You can do that in some way, because the goblins come in and like there is an element of ease to it as well. When you put a goblin in the world, it automatically thinks that your protagonist it's going to automatically attack your protagonist. And so if you don't want the goblins to be bad guys essentially, then you have to tell them not to be bad guys. You have to unwrite that code. And it's a lot. It's real easy. It's not hard to do. You click on when you put your icon over the goblin, it'll bring up a picture of a brain. And you click on the brain, and the brain tells the goblin how to be a goblin. And you just unwrite the part that you want it to unwrite, that you don't want it to do. It's a pretty cool game. It's really, to get to the point where you want to play it and do what you want to in the game, it's going to take a while.
Oops. Yeah, that's what I figured. I was going to ask you, and maybe you don't know this, or maybe you do. Let's say you build a game, like in the final. Once this game actually comes out, let's say you build a game.
Mm-hmm.
Can you actually like post that online for other
Yes.
people to play?
Yes,
That's
there
cool.
are actually some now. I haven't gotten that far, but I really want to play other people's games. Like Bonfire, you get the game, you build a level, and or a whole world or a whole game, and you call it Bonfire's game. And so you post it online, and I can come to your server, or I go to the Project Spark server under your name, and
Yeah.
I can play the game that you have made. And I'm sure
That's cool.
there's gonna. Let me not say that. I think it would be cool if there was some kind of reward for making a cool game.
Well, I could. Who's making this game?
Project
You know?
Spark. I do not know the
Is
company.
it the Microsoft Studios? I mean, I know it's an Xbox exclusive, but is it?
I
Is
think it is
Microsoft-
a Microsoft Studios project. Let me look.
I'm looking it up.
Because
now.
if it is, I could see them having some sort of reward system, or maybe even striking a deal with people who build really
It's
good
developed
games
by-
to.
Team Dakota.
I'm not very familiar with them, but
At least that's what I saw on Wikipedia article. Yeah, developers are Team Dakota, published by Microsoft Studios.
no.
Do they have
So
any
yeah,
other
it's
games
a
under
Microsoft.
their name?
They probably got like some, I don't know, but I mean, if you make a good game, maybe there could be a potential to have that game published.
Well, I think what would be cool, well, it would be inside of Project Spark, and they'd still want to get the money for it.
Sure.
But I wonder if you could build your own server for the PC, kind of like what his gamertag does for Minecraft. He has his own server.
Yeah.
I could see that probably happening. I don't see why it couldn't. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
I don't see why it couldn't. Also, if you're my best game maker, like if everybody buys Project Sparks just to play Bonfire's World, then I'm going to give you all the DLC stuff for free. I would think they would, because you're the one that makes those kinds of games. But then again, if you're making a game everybody wants to play, why wouldn't you spend the other extra money or whatever? And you can buy extra texture packs and extra characters and other stuff, like whatever to do. So you start with a huge palette and assortment of things that you can do. And then if you want to add in a fifth type of goblin or whatever. I'm not actual real numbers here, but if you want to add in a fifth type of goblin, maybe one that's purple with a pink nose and a booger hanging out, then you have to buy this DLC pack. And that's how they're going to get some of the DLC stuff done.
Okay.
Right now I'm in the beta, and there are definite beta issues, but it's nothing game breaking. It hasn't crashed on me. I'm really enjoying it. And if you want a product, if you want a what do you call it, a beta test code, you should email them. They may have a couple left over. I don't know for sure. You can email them though. You have to have a pretty better than average computer to play it. Newer computer to play it.
That's pretty cool. I think it'll be interesting to see if it can be as successful as say a Minecraft game. Because to me, there's a lot of similarities between the two.
I think that it takes a long time to get there.
Oh, sure, definitely.
Speaking of
But I
Minecraft,
think.
Bondfire.
Yep.
I'm not even gonna say anything. I'm just gonna let you. I want you to talk about this. What made it? What brought this on? This.
So you want to hear a little bit of the story? So if you haven't already, go to my channel, watch my upcoming series trailer. It's a great one.
Cha-ching.
Man, I was really happy the way that turned out, actually. But anyways, I'm diving in the world of Minecraft.
Are we starting at the beginning? Because I missed something huge.
You did.
Y'all are in a conversation that I have no idea what you're talking about. Can you start?
Bonfire uploaded a
Yeah,
trailer for an upcoming series, which is
I
basically
made a trailer for a series that
him
I'm
being a
doing.
Minecraft noob.
Okay.
He's playing Minecraft. He's doing a play of Minecraft. I don't know why.
Cool.
Here's why. So this game is seriously, it's left me so puzzled, and I'm so intrigued by why this game is so popular. Because I think it was about a year or so ago, like right when it first came out on Xbox.
Yeah.
I was like, I downloaded like the demo, like a little trial or whatever, and I was like, and I played it, and I was like, I don't get it. This game is dumb. It's so stupid. Like, I'm bored. And then I not recently, I think it was like over Christmas, like the Christmas break time. I watched a few videos, and I downloaded again, and I had some Microsoft money, and I was like, you know what? Let me give it a go. Maybe I can do something fun. So I replayed the demo, and I was like, I kind of understood it. I was like, this is kind of cool. Like, I had a little hut that I built, and there was like creepers running around. And I was like killing things, and I was like, I kind of see what's so fun about this game. And I was like, you know what? I should do a series. Because I don't know very much about this game at all. I only know what I played through in the demo. Like, they teach you a few little things about crafting and stuff. And I was like, I think it'd be kind of funny if I played this game survival. So I'm playing survival, where like critters and monsters come out at night and try to like kill you. But I play it on a harder difficulty. It's not the hardest, but it's like the second hardest. And that's what I'm doing.
So what console?
I'm playing on Xbox. I don't have a PC, but I think I would play it on Xbox anyways.
On Xbox 360, because it's not on the one, which is a
it's
little
not the one.
disappointing. I need to play that with you. I need to show you some things that are awesome.
We should play it together. And
We could do like a
I have
3-man
it too.
playthrough.
I mean, we'll call it Legos for adults, and have a whole series on it. Because that's what it is. It's Legos for adults. That's what
It
Minecraft's
really
all
is.
about.
And it's I'm having a lot of fun with it, and like so
Like,
I've
my
got,
kids
like,
are actually playing it right now. Right now, they're
believe it.
in the bedroom
It's
playing.
insanely popular, and
Except for that one,
kids
he's doing
love
homework.
that game.
it's so I see what's fun about it. I really do. And like, I'm about 4 or 5 hours into like recording it, and I don't know how. I haven't decided fully how I'm going to break up the episodes, because there's a lot of downtime in that game where you're just like digging away, or you're like
Ask him
inventory
your question
management.
on it. Bonfire.
How much do you like Minecraft?
I love it. My person thingy for the Xbox, I got a shirt and it said, I pork chop Minecraft.
I know what that means now.
Wow.
That's awesome. How many hours have you spent playing that game?
Today.
None.
Today.
I've been doing homework all afternoon.
Okay.
Hey, good for you.
Good job.
Yeah.
Bad job. We went hunting. He forsook his homework for pleasure. Fail sauce.
What?
I believe that was provoked by Dad, though.
That was provoked by Dad, and there's a video about it too. You get to see me
It's
in
okay.
my
Hunt
underwear.
takes precedence. Anyway.
Yeah. He was swimming in a river to get the deer. Like.
Adam, man.
Is there a video of that?
There's
coming?
a video coming, so just stay tuned and wait on that.
Okay, because that actually might be kind of funny.
Dude, it is so
Yeah. He wasn't even making any noise, and I could hear him.
Wow.
I want to go hunting with Whackmed one time.
I've got it's a hunting video that I'm gonna actually edit when we get through recording here. You come on down, I'll take you hunting. Do it before you're 16, so you don't have to buy a license. Which means you better get here before next weekend.
Wait, do we have a birthday coming up?
No, but
Wait,
the season goes out after this weekend, and by the time it opens again, he'll be 16 and have to buy a license.
I'm already 16.
Oh, well, that failed completely.
Good for you.
Oh,
I know.
Well, I guess I'm kind of
Well,
happy that I didn't pop off that joke when you said that the Quake 7 came out in '96, because I was going to say that came out before you were born.
Oh. It hasn't been that long, though. It's only been like a month and a half. So.
Oh, don't downplay it now.
Yeah.
But yeah, we should have a 3-bar exploits goes hunting weekend.
Oh, man.
We need
That
to
would
call
be
up
intense.
Strictly Business and get that funded.
I have no idea why they would want to do that.
Because there's a very good chance that something very funny would happen.
Oh, funny
How would
stuff
that
happens all the
benefit them?
time. Did you see the behind the scenes from my rap video? Everything with
I did.
me is funny. I try to make it that way. Oh yeah, for sure. I try to make everything funny, because if you're not enjoying yourself, what are you doing? Really?
Yeah.
I enjoyed that, not for the humor, but just to see the sheer amount of work that went into it. It made me appreciate a music video that much more.
It was so cold. It was cold. You could
What,
see
like
in one
30
shot.
degrees?
In
think
one
that's cold?
shot, we hit the camera with the baseball, and it didn't even record that shot. But we hit the camera with the baseball, and you can see the heater that we had running in between the legs of the camera, in between the legs of the ladder, because it was cold. Very cold.
Is that where you threw something and then you had to stop because it hit?
Yeah. He
Okay.
because the way the take we figured out, because the only thing you see is me throw a baseball in the music video. What we figured out would work really cool is off camera, you throw a baseball at me that's just coming at my face or something, and I catch it without taking my eye off the camera. And I did that. And then I throw it back, but when I threw it back, it hit the camera. And when it hit the camera, it stopped recording, and it lost the entire last 10 minutes of taping. So I lost all the footage and didn't even know it, because that's what I was asking him, if it killed the camera. He's like, well, it cut it off. And but I hit the camera with the baseball. It didn't tear up the camera. It lost all that footage, and I didn't know it, so I didn't get the take that I wanted. So
Yeah. So moral of the story here, kids. Looks like you got a lot of stuff to watch.
yeah.
Oyster's pumping out some GTA vids because we had some fun. Expect
Okay.
those from me as well.
Video 2 will
Well,
be coming tomorrow.
I've got a new series coming. Check out the trailer.
Oyster's doing GTA vids. Bonfire's doing Minecraft.
Hey, I'm doing GTA
hey,
too.
Hey, boys
I
and
just-
girls, I'm going to release a series in the next 24 months for Galaga.
Galaga. No, dude, we just need to get you a GoPro. You just come
Yeah.
back with
Day in the
thumb
life of
drives
Jules.
upon thumb drives upon thumb drives of GoPro footage, and I will edit it hardcore for you. I'd be
Nice.
happy to. But
We'll make it a day in the life of Jules Part 1.
Yeah, part one.
Part 1
Part
of
one.
312 or something.
he's like, I want to be syndicated. My body's gonna be syndicated.
Yeah.
Do you need to tell anybody hi while you're giving this platform, Jules? As we kind of wrap things
Say
up.
hi to the whole gang, anybody that's watching. I'm just gonna give a blanket shout out to everybody that knows me.
Like, yeah, that's such an uncreative.
Just cover
that
all my
was a
bases,
shout
just
out
get 'em
because
done.
he felt obligated to give a shout out after Whackman asked. And you couldn't think of who to shout out.
Since we're on it, I actually made a list.
Wow. Cool. Okay, well, that's episode 32 of 3-Bar Exploits. Thank you, Jules, for coming on and hanging out with us.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no problem. There'll be more episodes coming out in the future. Stick around. Have no idea what I'm saying here. I've failed 2 weeks in a row. I have failed on this outro. Thank you, Strictly Business Gaming, for sponsoring us, and have a great day.